Alan, of course, a quick turnaround for you off the back of Saturday to Tuesday. Obviously, it kicks off a couple of weeks where you've got Saturday, Tuesday games now. But with coming in today ahead of that game tomorrow, how has the sort of day been in terms of using that one day that you get with them to try and get things all prepared for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. The boys have been quite bright. They're a little bit down when they first come in, but eventually we got them going, had a little bit of fun up there. Try to get them, try to get the stuff out of their head. And we know we lost the game down to mistakes rather than down to being played through or outplayed as such. I thought we should have probably got something from that game, especially with what we've done in the first half, but then become farcical in the second half and then played the conditions better than us, as simple as that. We've gone through it upstairs, we've had a good chat with it, and we've got to learn from the mistakes, and that's what we keep saying. There's a lot of young lads still in there, and they still need a lot of help, but we've got to persevere with it, and we've just got to keep going with them. It's up to me to keep the mood going, and see, in training the day, we've tried to brighten the mood a little bit. Looking forward to a derby game, and hopefully we can get the 3 points.
I mean, you mentioned that sort of mood and trying to keep that high. Obviously, I suppose when you're winning games, it naturally takes care of itself. It's maybe more something you have to focus on when you're drawing or losing games as such. But how important is keeping that atmosphere and keeping a bit of a higher mood, obviously going into games, because like you say, you don't want it turns into going games where people are almost defeatist before they go into it. It's the opposite that you're after.
No, that's a big thing for me, is that's gone. You can look at it, you can assess it, but it's gone. We've got to just go out and put it right on in the next game, as simple as that. There's no point in dwelling on it, there's no point in thinking about it. We've just got to go and put things right. We've just got to work hard, keep doing what they're doing. The mistakes will iron themselves out, and it will be nice for a change for us to capitalise on some mistakes and not us being the ones getting mistakes capitalised on. So I've been in the game a long time, and I know it changes, but we've just got to keep going. We've just got to keep working hard. Like we said, it's a brand new team. They're still learning, still a very young team, which we know that. We've got a little bit of experience coming back, but again, at this moment in time, with the injuries and the illnesses we've got, it's probably left with bare bones.
Yeah, and obviously we talk about that game tomorrow. I mean, you mentioned in the sense of it being obviously the game between the two northeast teams in the division, so it tends to be a sort of higher attendance and a bigger atmosphere as such usually when Hartlepool come here and when we go to Hartlepool and that type of thing. But how are you looking ahead to that game in particular tomorrow? I think in terms of the two sides, it's probably been a little contrasting where there's been a lot of goals in Gateshead's games and probably not very many all in Hartlepool's games so far.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've touched on straight away. I've noticed them don't concede many goals, and there's not been a lot of. They don't score many goals. We concede a lot of goals and we score a lot of goals. So it could go anything tomorrow, but we'll give it a good go. I think they couldn't have picked a better game, to be honest, to try and get rid of the result on Saturday. A local derby, there'll be a decent crowd, decent atmosphere, on a good pitch. Fingers crossed, the water's gone and there'll not be standing water on there, and we can play the football that we want to play. And so we've just got to be confident in what we're doing, and every day the lads keep putting stuff into practice, and eventually they'll get there.
Yeah, and in terms of the sort of squad and everything tomorrow, I know George missed out on Saturday through injury, so what's sort of the update on how things are really looking on the squad front at the minute?
Yeah, George missed out. He twisted his knee against Wheelstone there, and it was a bit of a surprise. We didn't realise he was as injured as he was, and he carried on, so fair play to him on that. Callum Johnson, he's been really poorly last few weeks, and he's been seeing the doctors and stuff like that. Fingers crossed we'll get him back in a week or two. There's a few niggles here and there. Obviously the long-term ones, I say long-term, they probably should be back in a couple of weeks, to be honest. Ty's probably a little bit longer, but you've got Dom, you've got Max coming back. There's just Ty, who's a little bit longer. Obviously we've got Butts back, so it's starting to take shape. I just wish the lads were back now, to be honest with you, because we do need them just to strengthen the squad, just to give with different options of formation, give with different options off the bench. And at this moment in time, we've got a lot of young lads in there, which as I say, they're learning on the job, and that's where we are at this moment in time.